Hello everyone, and welcome back to Touhou World Cup 2026. Just a few hours ago we had a spectacular POFV match, and now we're going to be seeing Perfect Cherry Blossom Lunatic Survival between three very good players. Hello, my name is Sheldon, and I'm going to be joined here by Mino and Trace. Say hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Yeah, we have
Afternoon
morning.
or evening, depending on where you are.
Oh, morning for me. I woke up for this.
Same deal here, Mino.
Anyways, this match promises to be very interesting. Well, the thing is with PCB, we are hoping to see our first LNN of the tournament, since we didn't have any chances to have LNN so far. Fossilized Wonders not being very kind for that, and so is POFV. But anyways, now that we're gonna be talking more about the match, as hopefully we can transition to the slides fairly soon. Anyways, Touhou World Cup is an annual international tournament featuring various Touhou project shmups. Each match features 2 or 3 contestants competing in Lunatic or extra difficulty in survival or scoring category. For more details about the tournament and schedule, etc., basically other streams, go to this site that you see in the slide. Also, the most important thing of the fucking tournament, shoutouts to Maribel.
Always shoutouts to Maribel.
Anyways, the players have 85 minutes of reset time, so we actually have 5 minutes added from last year. To start new credits, they can reset without consequence, but as soon as the reset time ends, they have to finish that run. If you have to die, please don't. Players start with a TWC score based on their chosen shot type. We're going to be seeing that a little bit later, but every single shot type has a score, and a score gets cut in half for each miss. But we're not necessarily with PCB. Again, we're going to be seeing here a little bit later. Bombs count as 2 hits, so please don't bomb. Also, manual border breaks counts as using a bomb, just like a bit of a preempted here. But like passive border breaks, like when you just run into, just getting hit, is just 1 miss. So keep that in mind. So you don't see, oh, border break, oh, it has to be a 2 miss. No, that is that's 1 miss. And also, runs with more than 5 hits don't count, or shall we say, they get 0 points. And also, the player with the highest DD score wins.
What was that?
Anyways, as you can see here, it's not as straightforward as you can see in most matches. Usually the decay is 50% per each miss. So, but here it's a bit different. Here the decay is 60%, and that actually does come into play very quickly, because by themselves, Marissa B has the highest scoring LNN, 14 points. But
yeah, the base scores for all the shots are pretty much the same as they've been for a while now. This decay thing is relatively new, though.
Yeah, the decay thing was introduced last year. And also, oh, we have a little bit of a muck-up on the slides. Rainbow A is more powerful than Rainbow A. Anyways, it should be Marissa A. Anyways, but you can see, it just with 1 miss, Marissa B, 1 miss, actually loses out to both Reimu A 1 miss and Sakuya A 1 miss. As you can see, 7 versus 7.2 versus 7.8. So Marissa B is only really the best choice if you actually manage to get the LNN, which a little bit of a spoiler
Which can be rough, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a spoiler. I think we're going to be seeing it at the very least from Yukklsen. They've been practicing it. Oh, I say practicing it. They probably don't need any more practice given how insane of the player he is.
So one of the big things about this game is that a lot of the difficulty in terms of getting a good TWC score is defined pretty heavily by one section near the end of the game, the stage 6 spam. So Marissa B in particular, I believe, has a very rough time at that section, which is why she would get the most points. Similar with Marissa A. But this decay thing causes everything to shift around in terms of the order of the shots if you were to get more misses than that elsewhere in the game.
Yeah.
There's a short summary of that.
Yes, as you can... I mean, I'm honestly kind of like interested in the whole system. We don't actually get to see this that much outside of PCB. Everything else is like fairly standard cut in half. I mean...
Something I find very interesting is how back in the day, Reimu A probably would have scored more points because she was so valuable on the spam, but because the meta of this game has changed so drastically over the last few years, well, we'll see that more when the run actually starts, but basically there is a certain section in this game that defines everything, and there is a meta that revolves around cheesing that as much as possible with the full power clear. And that completely changed the way all of these shots play and score, and it's really interesting.
Some pretty drastic changes in like the base scores once that became a more commonplace tactic.
Yes, like
Marissa in particular I believe was a big change in that front.
Yes, it was. Like if people are familiar with IN, it is like a more drastic version of the stage 2, like Misty and Non 2 power cancel, where you do it as a solo yokai. But here you basically have to route the entire game. Anyways, we're gonna have a few minutes left. Do we want to talk about the players?
Yeah, we can mention. So we have Senki versus Chemkin versus Yukklsen. All three of these players have every shot type element in this game, so this is a very stacked match. They all know what they're doing, and they perfected the game with every shot from a survival sense.
Yukklsen has also competed in this category before, so returning competitor here.
Yes, unfortunately, last year they died to Yomunan 2. That was their one miss, the Marissa B run. I guess it's less embarrassing than the one miss Marissa A to retirement non. That also happened last year. Might get his 65th PCB LNN here.
Refresh my memory on some of those, because I remember I was able to catch that live last year. Yeah, those definitely sound like rough misses to happen.
Yes, one miss to retirement non and one miss to Yomu non 2. Those were like 2 runs.
There's a reason it's called retirement non in that case.
Did they retire after that? I don't know, Raikaria.
Semi-serious question.
Although, to be fair, if we're not going to be seeing any LNNs here, what I propose is we sacrifice them to RNG gods so that the next survival run gets the LNN. We need to get some actual LNNs on the board, come on.
We briefly mentioned like the stage 6 spam, but there are a handful of other attacks in the game that could potentially cause issues, depending on your shot, so we'll get to those when we see them.
Yes, we're gonna be seeing like the shot selection just a little bit, like we're jumping into like 15 seconds at most. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be an exciting match. It's gonna be high level, that's for certain, since you have basically PCB is like one of the most solved games out there in terms of in terms of like scores.
This power cancel strat we've alluded to is like a more discreet way of making the game easier in terms of like making the hardest attack in the game a lot easier.
You do have to suffer a little bit for that though, because not having full power, especially as Marissa B, does kind of hurt. But yeah.
It's all for a later payoff is the idea.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna be... Okay, Senki is gonna be playing Sakuya A. Marissa B for Chemkin, and Yukklsen is just holding out for the Truth novel, whatever. Or, oh wait, I think that's a song single. I don't know.
Album art style picture, basically.
Yes.
A few more seconds left for a few of these players here.
Anticipation.
I see
is-
Marissa A, potentially.
Marissa A. Yukklsen, okay. We're live, okay.
Yep, we're underway. Yeah,
no.
Chemkin's locked in,
Marissa
B.
Marissa B, yeah.
Zinky, Marissa A.
And, no, both Marissa B. They switched.
Oh, maybe I just missed it last second, who knows.
I mean, there's also lasers.
Now I see it. Sure. Stage 1, pretty simple in the grand scheme of things. A lot of it's just trying to collect power as much as possible. This is
Not
one
as
of
much
those-
as possible.
This is one of those... Well, yeah, until you get to that point, anyway.
Okay, Yukklsen. Is it going to be
This
triple
is one of those
Marissa
early
B?
games, too, where like the point of collection doesn't activate until you're at full power, so...
Yeah.
Have to manually collect everything, lure a lot of these shots away so they don't block your pickup items here.
Yeah,
Anyways, we
I
have... Go on.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to elaborate something too. Most people are probably familiar with this system because they played this game before. And this system is mostly score related, but I wanted to talk about the border system really quick just because, you know, it is the start of the run and it's something that's going to be appearing for the whole run. So that meter on the top or the bottom left with the plus sign, those pink numbers, that has to do with your cherry value. And when the player gets 50,000 of that cherry plus value, they get this supernatural border, which you can see on Senki's stream right now. And what that does is it auto collects the items. So if the players are going for a full power clear strat, they need to be wary of the auto collect from those borders. And that's basically why I just wanted to bring it up real quick because it's kind of relevant for that.
Oh yeah, that's like one
They
of the
have
most...
to route their border timings, too, as part of this power canceling strat.
Yes, because like when you are in a border, you auto collect. There is no going around it, and you can mess up the power cancel very easily. Anyways, we're kind of skipping over Letty. She really isn't much of a presence. Honestly, if you died to her, it's kind of, let's just say,
Perhaps
bit
a
of a-
consequence of this being an early Windows game. A lot of the patterns in the early game are very simple,
yes.
not very intense, compared to what you see in some more recent titles.
Yeah, they are. Anyways,
Her spells in
both-
particular have like pretty controllable aspects to them, like they're aimed or static or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, we're the first one. Chemkin got to stage 2. Stage 2 honestly only has one sort of a problem pattern, and that's at the very end. It can actually just like catch you off guard on occasion. Bit of a spoiler what's coming up ahead, but and also
You can also
as you-
see a lot of the ways like they're controlling which enemies they shoot down,
also they
so they don't even have to worry about power items spawning to potentially accidentally pick up.
yes. And also, as you can see, they're shooting focus, but because that way they don't get any cherry when they shoot. You can see that Chemkin's actually taking up the border right now, so they don't actually get a border after the spell ends. Because if you do, then you auto-collect, and as you can see, there are so many power items that you're just going to full power. Basically, everyone routes a border at during the Chen mid spell, during the non, excuse me, so that by the when it ends, you are past the danger of getting a border.
And they definitely want to make sure that they end that mid-non after the border ends too, because as you saw, a bunch of power items spawn from some enemies that also spawn alongside Chen. Second half of stage 2 is also a lot of rooting here. Enemies spawn and they have like waves on the left and the right here, as well as ones that spawn from these bubbles at set times.
Honestly, like, it's a fairly basic thing. It's not really heavy routing at all.
Once you know the timings, it's very easy to get consistent at it.
Also, I was informed it was Chemkin, like the soft ch.
Chemkin.
From what the katakana reads. Yeah.
From
Oh yeah. No,
I mean, it could be read both ways. That's the thing.
Chen's opener here is potentially a little bit tricky because you have those green triangles as well as the blue arrowheads overlapping at the same time in each wave. Pay attention to like two different things at once.
The first spell card should be fine unless it like basically puts a giant cluster at the middle. Okay,
they're basically just also knowing like when the screen shakes happen so that you're not caught off guard by anything. Also something you can memorize.
Chen's second non, there's not much to be talked about there. It's just basically misdirected.
Also streaming through patterns here.
Yeah, streaming and a little bit of following Chen to get the optimal damage.
One thing to note for PCB, this is one of those few games in this series where you can control which direction bosses move in. If you're on their left side, they'll move to the left to compensate, and same with the right. As long as they're not against a wall, of course.
Yeah. Yes, there is a tiny bit of randomness within it, however.
Yeah, it's just generally if they move left or the right. The actual distance they move, as well as any vertical movement, is also random.
The thing is, like, okay, I'm gonna be going up to this is the Chen final. This is like the first bit of a scary thing.
Yeah, this is even more difficult as any of the Marissa shots because, as you can see, her base shots kind of blend in with the bullets a lot of the time, so it can be hard to actually read everything that's right in front of you.
Chemkin is actually very fortunate. She stayed high the entire time. It was basically free. Okay, Senki.
Also staying high to start at least.
Oh, okay, Yukklsen's stream froze.
Oh, we're on the coolest stage ever. This stage is based. I love stage 2.
Yeah, it's like the mini cave stage, as I call it.
Alice Non 1's fairly basic. And Senki got cleared. Okay, it actually took a while for them to do it.
Yeah. Despite what I just said about boss movement, though, Chen's movement on her final is actually pretty erratic, so you have to also pay attention to where she's moving, even if it's just watching like the enemy marker at the bottom of the screen. That also complicates actually trying to kill the spell fast.
You see, there's also what I want to talk about boss movements. Like, what I think is happening is that the bosses move at like vectors. Like they move the same distance, and the same direction, but the angles are slightly different. But they move the same overall distance. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see here on stage 3, these stage sections without Alice in them are just like lots of enemies bum rushing you all at the same time. That's why I call it like a mini cave stage. And they also have like different patterns you got to account for as you stream through them.
I think what Chemkin's doing is like manipulating the border timing. Oh. Yeah, like they time it out so they don't get the mid spell, because it's fairly easy to pick up items during mid spell because it does drop items during it. Actually,
there's like a bunch of different enemies that spawn during that.
Yes. Alice does spawn in various dolls, and those, as we can see actually right now on Senki's stream. As you can see, there's some various power items and even some cherry items drop on occasion. Okay, Alice, her final is like the really big problem. Like, maybe I'm a bit overselling, but it is like once again, the final pattern.
I wouldn't
is
say
the
it's the only problem with this.
I'm scared of the opener, to be honest.
A lot of the white rice bullets there.
That opener, I always underestimate it. I mean, I usually don't.
They all just like converge at the same time. It can catch you off guard.
Oh yeah.
First spell in particular is also kind of hard. There are ways to like keep track of where it's aimed, but a lot of it's just a lot of overlapping bullets here. The biggest thing you gotta pay attention to is just like staying away from like the densest clumps of bullets you can see. That gives you the best odds of survival.
Yes, you see, just for a bit of an explanation, this spell is static but randomly rotated. So, just so people are aware. Okay, this should die.
You can get familiar with like a lot of where the dense clumps of bullets are in that part.
Anyway, the greatest non of all time.
Yeah. For some reason, it has 0 HP in the full version of the game.
Yeah, in the
So it just
demo
ends
it...
once the invincibility wears off.
Yeah, in the demo it works fine, but not in the full version. I wonder how Zun fucked that one up.
Things.
Maybe we should hire Tesm to figure out why in the world did that happen. Anyways, Russian dolls wasn't really that big of a pattern. Like, it's a fairly basic pattern to go around. If you want to be really safe, you can move in kind of a big circle to avoid everything.
Generally just like moving back and forth left and right, and helps to stay higher up on the screen in case something forces you back downwards in the process.
Yeah. The penultimate, again, it's fairly basic. Like, it's not that big of a problem. Again, it's static but randomly rotated. So if you find the gaps...
Yeah, it's like the individual bullets on each ring can be randomly positioned, but everything else is controllable. And
we have the final. Again, what they are doing here is misdirecting at the start, because Alice has quite a bit of vulnerability, and you get a little bit of free damage that way. As also, you can see Chemkin's actually staying very high up, because you do not want to fall down at all if you can help it. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want
arrowheads
to...
can overlap
to
pretty densely at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
And you need to read ahead.
push as high up as you can, whenever you can, to avoid those situations.
And there
So
we
like
go.
it's a preemptive strategy, but it's very useful for that.
And stage 4 already.
Yes, the 4 is death stage.
Can't believe our meta for this game really has evolved to everyone playing Marisa B and doing full power clear. The year is 2026.
Some games are like that.
Yeah, it is one of the more consistent games. Barring spam, of course. Okay, Senki is on the final.
And there's some more discreetly controllable strategies you can use that definitely helps that out.
Okay, Senki also managed to get LNN to stage 4 first try. Okay, no issues at the early game. And now we're just waiting for Yukklsen to do the same. Stage 4 is really kind of a snooze fest, mostly. Like,
I think Lily's a bit scary.
Yes, like, barring, like, Lily, honestly. Also,
everything else in stage 4 is it's like either aimed or static, but Lily's like the main exception that you'll see in the stage.
Also,
we'll see that in a second here, but you can see like Chemkin just slowly streaming these fairies here rather than worrying about having to go back and forth killing them all.
Here's the thing, they're doing this, I'm just explaining like for the audience, they're doing this right now because you see they're just about to get a border, and if you shoot down any of those fairies, you get star items, which give you cherry points, and you don't want to get like a border here.
Or
they
this
want to get
border routing we talked about.
Yeah, they want to get a border at Lily. That's when they want to get the border. So that the border times out after the fight ends. So you don't get extra point items. And Yukklsen's also stage 4.
Even if you weren't specifically trying to root borders, going full pacifist for this part of the stage is also recommended, just because the patterns they shoot when you shoot them down are a lot harder than these green arrowheads they fire just passively.
Not really. I shoot down basically everything, barring a few things.
I mean, I do too, but I would still say it's generally harder to deal with all those than just the green arrowheads, because they're so spaced out.
Okay.
Here's the hard part of Lily. We have the red and blue bullets here, because those
yes.
are mostly random, just a big
yes,
cloud of bullets.
We saw a bit of a very interesting thing that's only possible in PCB. We have the border iframes. So if I will allow one of... would you want to explain what that is?
So when a border is active, you're invincible. But the thing is, like for a few frames after the border itself ends, then invincibility is still active. So you can use that period between when the border ends and when the invincibility ends to just plow through a few bullets, and you don't have to worry about getting a border break to ruin your score in the process. just a neat little tech for survival purposes. Ooh,
wow.
Yeah, that's what can happen on Lily sometimes.
Oh yeah, that was a rough. They're continuing. Now that's
they want to get a run on the board for sure.
I guess. Unfortunately,
the post-Lily section is also kind of interesting because there are some enemies you don't want to shoot down, but some that you do. The ones that fire bullets anyway, like the purple and blue bullets here, those are also mostly aimed, but you want to shoot them down before they can fire too much and just flood the screen.
here's the thing. Like, generally, it's fairly easy to remember which ones you shoot and which ones you don't. The ones you don't want to shoot basically come after the purple aimed bullets, generally.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to...
That's a fairly consistent way to figure it out. And the final Death Fairy is the pacifist strategy, because again, they want to control their cherry to the absolute values they want, and they don't want to get any star items where they don't want them. And the 9-second
Yukklsen
pause.
also.
Oh,
Yep.
Yukklsen!
Getting
Lily
blocked
is
by Lily there,
difficult.
that's rough.
Well, she's a threat, you know? Okay,
That's
so we have
actually
our stage 4
surprising.
She's just too excited that
bosses.
Spring is here in real life, too. She's too
Okay, so-
powerful.
The stage 4 bosses are 3 different characters. So the first boss that you fight is actually a solo, and it's dependent on your character. But since we're seeing Marissa, we're only going to be seeing Lyrica, because Marissa fights Lyrica, unless someone changes the shot. But yeah. Lyrica
Is
herself
interesting
isn't
because
that
it's the only situation in the game where the
Rank.
rank system actually comes into play. At max rank, some of the arrowheads in that spell actually, or non-spell, reverse, so that actually makes the attack a bit more awkward to go through.
Yeah. It's actually quite...
on spell 1, the character that you fight in the mid-fight is dependent on who you damage the most, so ideally they would just go for Lyrica, because Lyrica has by far the easiest mid-fight, but I don't know, I've seen people not go for Lyrica before. I think that happened in the prelims, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I always go for Lunasa.
Ah, it was... Okay, that's cool, I respect that.
It's there. And I believe who's in the center is also depending on like who you fight at the start of the fight.
Yes,
So
yes. Like, I think the one at the center is always the one that you originally have to fight, as far as I know.
And you can see why you want to pick Lyrica a lot of the time for this mid-fight here, because it's just a lot of simple tap streaming for this non-spell.
Also, like honestly, like the mid-non is like also easy if you pick Merlin. Merlin's also pretty darn basic. Like, her spell card is also very easy, which is actually probably the main reason why you pick Lyrica, because like her spell cards are very, very easy. If you fail at one, I'm sorry, that's 100% on you.
You kind of have to know what you're doing for this spell, though. A lot of it's just staying higher up so you don't get crushed, but also picking like the correct lane. Better to go for like the leftmost ones within the lanes of curved bullets.
Is we have the penultimate, which is like a fairly like an introduction of the final spell card, I would call it. It's like a fairly basic card, honestly.
We have like some of the sisters just redirecting some of the bullets that the other ones fire.
Yes, and you're gonna see more of it here. Concerto Grosso, again, I argue that the hardest part is at the very end of the fight.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, redirecting the directions of some bullets here. And it helps to stay on the left side, because that's where you get a lot of the most vertical bullets. But it's still not all vertical. You have to deal with some crossover here.
Oh,
Fortunately,
come
all
on.
3 sisters share a health bar, so you don't have to worry about like aiming at a particular one. You just stay on
Could
the
you
left side
imagine?
for your own survival, and the spell just
Ellen on stage
presses
5.
normally.
There is that one spam section on stage 5. I'm curious at what they'll do. I can't imagine it really being that troublesome. It's like a streaming spam section.
Yeah. Or the one that's about to come up shortly here.
I guess as long as you don't have a border for it, you should be fine.
With enough practice, I imagine you can get comfortable with this. Streaming the blue bullets and knowing like where the red arrowheads are.
Yeah, it's...
If you're good at shooting down like where they're at when they spawn too, you can also control like which red arrowheads spawn in the first place. Bigger issue I would say is making sure you don't collect too much power during that part.
Yeah,
So
because
they're really like pushing themselves towards the side of the screen to do that.
Concerto, we still see Concerto. Come on, thank
And
you.
similarly-
Oh no! I think you have to restart. I think like 2 miss is like a bit too much at this point. Honestly, a bit of a spoiler, but I'm kind of hoping they die just so they can restart, because I think this is not going to be a very competitive run. be perfectly honest. I know
Well,
they
aside
want
from
to...
the fact that they don't have many lives remaining, like, just total.
Yeah, because, like, the thing is, like, you get extra lives either from mid-boss kills on stages 3 and 5 or power items. That's the main way. But you have to avoid basically everything, so you're not going to be getting many power items.
Point items in this case, but yeah.
Point
If
items,
if you're avoiding all pickups, though, you're not going to be picking up the point items either, so...
Oh, okay, thank you, okay.
And you see what Chemkin's doing with Yomu. You can actually misdirect some, like, the first 2 waves of the Midnon here.
You
Just
can
go, like, straight above her head.
You can just time out the entire Midnon pretty freely.
Yeah, the mid spell is also kind of potentially tricky, even with some of the slowdown that happens, because it's just very dense.
Yes, it actually is. Like, unironically, it might be easier to go to the top of the screen and time it out, because it's less dense there.
Also, Chemkin is timing out the non-spell, because
Yes.
the spell card is actually kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I guess. It's
And
a
by
little
not
bit-
facing that spell, you don't have to worry about any of the items dropped afterwards, too.
Yep.
Just go straight into shooting down these fairies at the end of the stage. They have
Okay,
set locations where they go, and you definitely want to shoot them down fast, so they'll just block off the screen.
Okay, so we got like the real, I mean, the hardest part in the game, I guess, if you're doing the power cancel strats anyway. Yomu's first spell, Hell God Sword. It's quite something, and you'll see it when it starts.
and there is no way to cheese it. You have
Well,
to... There's no real
order-
way, like, consistent.
Iframe stuff, I guess, but even then, that's only gonna get rid of one wave, and that's if you can even set it up. I don't know if you can with the power clear, but
Yeah, I think they're doing this.
I'm sure
They
you
are,
could
they are,
time
they
it
are,
more
they
for
are,
this
I
part if you
see.
wanted to.
yeah, they're setting up the border.
But you still have to dodge the first wave, which is annoying.
Yeah, dodge the first wave. Yep.
Okay, that's actually a fairly good wave.
That was very tame,
a
and
nice
then the second
aggressive
wave,
pushing
if
up through
played
that cloud
right,
there.
shouldn't. Yeah, it basically
Oh yeah,
doesn't matter.
and
'cause
you
the
see
iframes-
border iframe abuse.
I want to say like that the amount of time that lasts too is also extended by the slowdown. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but
And there we go. Yeah, that was the spell card where PCB forgets its PCB and fires a really unreasonably difficult pattern at you.
Okay, we also see Senki at Yomu, and we're going to be going at HGS, so we're hopefully going to see a cap there. Although, to be fair, I did say that I kind of want them to miss the restart.
you can also see like for the first part of the boss opener here, you actually want to like misdirect some of these nons like more towards the side rather than straight above Yomu, because that actually makes it easier to misdirect the second wave. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to have enough room to go around Yomu.
Okay, they're also doing the... Okay. Oh, they had... Oh!
Yep, that's a manual, or not manual, an unintentional border break rather.
Yeah, that's one miss. Like, no one's pressing C here, chat. It is a border break.
Not manual, just unintentional.
Yeah. At the very least, it doesn't cost them a life. So
they
they...
can actually like keep playing in general.
I mean, no one said the continuous can't be used. It just means you don't get a replay.
I think, isn't it like you have to have a replay though for the run to count? So technically, by the rules, it wouldn't.
Maybe? I don't know how that works with Touhou 19 though. Anyways, back to the PCB. We have Chemkin at the penultimate. I think it's like Human Sword as far as I know. I don't fully remember the
I
name.
always lose track of which sword is which.
The second one's Asura Sword.
Other than Hellgod's sword, of course.
First one's Hellgod Sword. Second one is Asura Sword. Fourth one is 3 Cons, 7 Hakus. I don't remember the penultimate,
no.
unfortunately.
This spell is
Isn't the final
pretty
3 Cons 7
easy.
Hakus?
It is the 3 Cons, 7 Hakus. It's the final.
Yeah.
This is just streaming with minor inconveniences. Although, the thing to remember...
Main thing is you don't want to like rush it though. See
Yes.
them, like going back into here. And for
Also-
the final, a lot of it is just trying to push up through these arrowheads before the slowdown ends as much as you can. Because it actually ends a lot earlier than you would normally think.
Yeah.
use the slowdown to read where bullets are, so you can dodge through the rest of the wave.
Occasionally, sometimes you can stay at the bottom, especially if she's like very low.
I wouldn't say it's recommended though.
It's a last resort kind of deal.
Okay, it is time for spam.
And they have the power.
Not much spread or homing to speak of. Both Marissa's shots both have a really rough time at that part.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what all that preparation was for?
Meanwhile, Senki is at 3 con 7 Hakus. Okay, that's a free one. Come on.
I guess I should talk about the spam real quick before we actually get to it, so that when we get to the spam, you can just kind of sink into it and just observe it for what it is. But it's basically this really hyper chaotic section, and there's like red and blue bullets coming from all over the screen, and they fire at a really fast rate, and they have varying speeds, and it's super dense, and it's very chaotic, and the full
Big
power clear
mess.
is, yeah, it helps because it obviously clears. It doesn't make it free actually, but it clears out a lot of bullets and gives you a much higher chance of capturing it. So here we go.
Okay, they're at 124, not 27, which they need a big P for that. Okay, they got
There's
it.
one cancel there, but still.
Oh!
Just sniped
Like I
by
said,
something
it's
that
not-
spawned
Also,
right
Senkit spam.
after.
We have Senkit spam also. Okay, I think they got a bit better because a bit later. They don't have as much.
It also helps, like, once the enemy stops shooting, there's basically no more point of shooting at all yourself, so you just stop shooting. That makes it a lot easier to see the bullets.
All of that routing gone to waste.
Yeah, sniped by something that happened right after the cancel, too. That's the rough part.
Oh yeah, like that's so unfortunate. Hey, now they
But the
actually
game
can
said,
collect
"You dare
resources.
choose me."
Anyways, time for Yuko. She's like probably one of, maybe even the easiest final boss, honestly, in Touhou.
She's around that.
Chimata.
Chimata? No. Chimata's like definitely harder. Yes, Yuko is just basically just pure nerfs. It's a nerfs check, especially her final. Although technically that's not a bit of a
You still
spoiler.
have to understand like how the attacks work, but when you're at this point, you obviously would know what the attacks look like.
Yes.
Here,
Although
you just know,
technically,
like, to go to the side and not get
Yeah.
too greedy with shooting down Yuko between waves, rather.
and now you're gonna see one of the few advantages that Marissa B gets during this.
The interesting part of this fight is that for some attacks, Yuko has this big fan behind her that actually takes normally 2/3 damage from your shots, but because Marissa B has some piercing shots, she can actually hit the fan and Yuko at the same time for extra damage.
That's basically the that makes the fight actually way faster than it normally be. I think that's gonna be very especially noticeable for her penultimate, Tsumizome. Technically, it's her final because the final attack in lore is what? Senki,
I actually missed what happened there.
non-to death
Was it to a bubble or something else, though?
to a Mentos, to a Mentos, not
There aren't
to
any
a.
Mentoses on this one. There's bubbles and small bullets, but
A small bullets. I just call them mini
Fair enough, yeah.
Mentoses. The non-to death. I guess we're continuing the tradition from last year that some one stupid death has to happen somewhere.
second spell, though, you see, like, the butterflies are completely static and the bubbles are aimed, and they also have, like, a set spawning rate, so you can either go back and forth like this, or learn a path this way, or there's even ways to, like, spin around Yuko, avoid them all the same.
Basically, you just learn one route and stick with it.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's pretty fun to look at.
Yes.
See somebody do it. Maybe Yukklsen are doing it. Third, non-hero, the knives are also static, but they also get really dense in the center at some certain points of it, so it helps to just move to one of the bottom corners, and move back once they go away.
This spell is like 99% static because the blue Mentoses are all based on the positioning. Like they fire based on.
Those are aimed, and then the lasers, of course, jump to your position at set points. You do want to stay like mostly away from where that point is though, because the lasers kind of swirl around a little bit before they explode into the butterflies. But it's some macro dodging
Retirement
there,
non.
regardless.
Are they better than 411?
Yeah, just you want to stay like at the very bottom as much as you can and stream the rest.
We have 2 retirement nons for the price of 1.
Main thing basically is just don't go too high up when the cyan arrowheads are fired, because those are what'll kill you most of the time.
That's not what happened during last year. What happened was they died to the green bullets when they streamed to the wrong side.
That would be like the most basic of mistakes for something called a retirement non. This force failure is also kind of fun because just like you get a lot of grays when these butterflies just stream past you. You only need to tap once per wave, and then just go back and forth between 2 points in the static waves here that Yukko fires periodically.
Okay, they didn't have borders, but if they had borders, they would be contractually obligated to do unfocused grazing.
Pretty much, yeah. Get all that cherry.
Anyways, we
ever
have
mention
Suzome,
that,
which is basically technically a streaming. It's weird because the butterfly bullets are aimed, but they have a very varying delay.
They're aimed the moment they fire, and they kind of spread around either to the left or the right, depending on their color. So basically, you got to keep track of where you know the safe stops are going to be once they unfold like this. But you also got to keep track of the cherry blossom petals falling alongside, as well as the bubbles that you go fires periodically.
The final card, technically it's not Yiko attacking, it's the Saigo Ayakashi, Resurrection Butterfly.
But enough cherry to cause it to resurrect here. And you see it's technically Yukiko's soul. You can see her silhouette in the background there.
I think that's her corpse, because that's the corpse that's under the Saigo Ayakashi.
Yeah, Yukiko has the ghost.
Anyway, the actual Danmaku. So you have the blue waves and the purple waves, which are free because you just have to, like, you know, get in the little gaps there. But the hard part of this comes from the red butterflies, which crisscross, and there are multiple ways you can dodge it. You can dodge in the middle, you can dodge at the bottom, which I've seen people do, or you can try to be like really high up. This
is probably the most bottom dodging I've seen out of competitors in this category so far. Usually I see them do like the high strat for the red waves.
And there is a little bit of trickiness that comes in when the bubbles are there as well, because the overlap can be a little mean with the butterflies, but that's not the worst.
Once again, they have set
universe.
positions and timings, so if you know when they fire, you'll be able to like readjust and get through the red waves by the time they arrive where you're at.
Anyways, congratulations Chemkin for the 1-mess run.
Yeah,
a very solid start.
Very strong start here.
And Sankey, come on, let's finish strong.
Sankey also pushing kind of high up, I guess, in that last wave. Maybe not quite high enough for the quote-unquote high strat, but yeah.
4-miss, unfortunately, that's definitely not going to be enough. But still, congratulations on the clear. Anyways, we're going to be going back to
Getting a run on
Yukklsen.
board is always a big deal.
Oh, well, we have Random Eye in PCB. She's not supposed to be here now.
I thought that was Uso for a second, so I saw the red on the chest, but yeah. It's some other part of the outfit, I guess, in this design.
What is Aya doing in the PCB?
Yeah, she hasn't debuted yet.
I guess
Unless she's just spying on everybody from afar before she makes her big reveal.
I guess she got upset that she wasn't played in yesterday's match of POV Survival. Anyway, that's kind of a boring answer. We just wanted to mess around. Come on.
WC Fun is right.
Okay, we're actually switching up. It's Rainbow A.
First shot type switch here.
It's Rainbow A. I don't think we're gonna see the power cancel because it's honestly a waste of time with Rainbow A. Because like Rainbow A spam is like among the easiest.
Oh, we're seeing. Okay, I am very pleased by this development.
To the point where it doesn't really exist as the same pattern, actually. Also, just a random aside, I think Himajin in the Japanese commentary box is gonna be very happy.
So, to responding to chat, the best spam is always Sakuya B, because she can angle her shot types and hit both sides of the screen at the same time. But Reimu A's homing is also pretty good at handling the enemy. It's just not as effective as Sakuya B's, but it's still a significant gap between Reimu A and the Marissa's.
Almost everybody else.
Yeah,
You'd still take
basically,
this over basically the lack of options
with
that
Reimu-
some of the other shots have.
With Reimu A, you're basically sacrificing boss effectiveness for a much easier spam, and if you're just really well trained in this game, it's not a bad sacrifice, honestly. Yeah, it does suck a little bit on Hellgod Sword and maybe Concerto Grasso, but it's also PCB, you know? It's
She's
a
just a lot weaker in
relatively
general.
friendly game compared to something like, Fossilized Wonders, which we saw, last week.
That's not an easy bar to clear, in fairness.
Well, I could bring up Lil K or UFO or something else. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know, honestly, PCB is one of the easiest. I don't know, I'm just counting from the Touhou Survival Open scores, it's some Wabok shots are only a bit easier considered LNNs, but then again, it's difficult to compare those two. I mean, we're kind of glazing over Yukklsen's progress because they've been basically very, very clean.
After they got that early miss out of the way in a previous run, and now they're just rushing it everywhere else now. Who run?
Yeah. And honestly, I think the power cancel has gone to the point where the route is such that you plan a border for HGS. If you do it for the power cancel for stage 6, you honestly can really do it for HGS. Where you can...
Good for basically any point in the game you would want.
Yeah.
The game is almost 25 years old, if you can believe that, so there's a lot of time to learn those things. It's doing the sideways misdirect on this wave here.
Whichever works, really.
Not as necessary for the
Wait, they
mid-boss,
don't
I guess,
misdirect? Wait, hang on.
I'm just saying they misdirected the first mid or
Okay, they do it like this.
More to the side.
Okay.
Not quite as necessary here as on the boss opener, but either way works.
Okay, they're shooting them down so they can get the appropriate... No, they're actually doing the mid-spell! Now we can see why the people are gonna generally tend to skip it.
Basically, by this point, once the wave really gets going, you basically don't want to follow Yomu around as much anymore. You just want to focus on dodging everything else during the slowdown, and then wait for her to come back to you between waves.
That's honestly the strategy for HGS as well, if you're not doing the border abuse. You stay at one side.
I guess also controlling which power items they pick up too. They're starting to get really close to max now.
Oh, that's actually...
Dangerously close to max.
Yeah. 127.
And make sure they don't pick up any of the spell drops here. I guess in fairness, it also means that you don't have to worry about picking up a big power item during the spam as part of your cancel. You can also just pick up a small one.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big deal. Yeah, you can just pick up a small item. Because sometimes, the big power item is kind of either way and you can't really pick it up. That's also, that can happen. Yeah.
More options to control the timing of it. Once again, we're seeing the border during Hellgod's Sword.
Okay,
Big
they're
jump
not...
to the other side for dodging here. Do they have enough room, though?
Oh!
Oh, I guess not.
And reset immediately.
They're going for perfection, sounds like.
Honestly, I don't think I agree.
And you want to get a run on the board here. We're almost halfway through the reset time now.
Yeah, and also because
And PCB is not the shortest game out there either.
it's one among the longer ones actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
if they
case...
starting now, they finish one run, they'll basically only have time for one more full run after that.
Yeah. Well, PCB is about 30 minutes. give or take.
30 to 35, depending on your shot, maybe.
Yes, and also like the state of play, for example. That's also a little bit of a factor. It is shorter than, say, LOL-K. It's definitely shorter than LOL-K.
Yeah.
Anyways,
similar tier though is the idea.
Yeah. Anyways, we're now in the early game once more. It's like we've gone back in time about 40 minutes. I think Senki...
Spells like attacks like this, you can really start to see like some of the differences in attack power between Rainbow A and some of the others. Homing does help for like when Chen's going all over the screen, but some attacks are definitely just gonna last a lot longer than normal.
Yeah, and also you can see they're not going for power cancel because honestly it's not really needed.
Oh no, not with Rainbow A, you wouldn't care for
like
that.
Mino talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's not necessary in the slightest. That also means like...
Fortunately, there's not as much like color blending with Reimu's shots on Chen's final, so it's easier to see these bullets. But you still want this attack to end as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's why you want to follow, so that your non-homing shots hit her.
You're getting your base shots hitting Chen too, yeah.
Okay,
but again, she just moves very erratically, so that could be easier said than done sometimes.
Oh yeah. Once again, a bit more luck that Chen actually stayed high. If Chen stays high, honestly, the spell card is basically free. If the only real problems start if Chen is like all the way down and stays there. Then the bullets get really cluttered, and it can actually be kind of a problem.
It's like a universal thing in Touhou where if bosses move down, patterns just get harder.
Probably there are exceptions, but I don't know.
Almost universal. Yeah. I'm sure there are exceptions too, if I can't think of any off the top of my head. Homing definitely helps for the stage 3 sections here too.
Oh yeah.
Helps clear a lot of these enemies before they can really get going. Just a lot less you have to worry about misdirecting.
Honestly, you can just
don't get
kind
Alice
of
kicked here.
Yeah, you can honestly just kind of like play this straight up. You barely need a routing, really. You can kind of go left and right and kill everything with the homing.
Still choosing to time down this mid-non, though. The thing about this is, like, if you let it repeat too many times, the pattern just gets denser and denser, but it is still generally static, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, it's memo.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a funny thing with
it looks
GH-Track.
scarier, though, the longer it goes on.
Yeah. Bit of funny thing with...
That was a cool safe spot there.
Yeah. Go, just like a bit of funny thing. Do, like, Alice mid-non 2, but with time lock, and see how worse it gets, because...
Are they timing out? I mean, you know, it makes a lot of sense, but I think they're timing out the non because of the bug in the spell, right? The really rare bug that can just kill you, even though the late...
Like the invisible laser.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. It's a good idea, I guess.
You kind of control as many factors as possible to make sure they survive everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane is spell 3 for Grace, but again, that's for like scoring, not for survival. Ichiran mid-non? Yeah, I actually can see that. Anyways, we have Alice once again. Once again, we're a bit of in the lull state since we're now coming onto the unthreatening part of Alice until we basically reach the final. And I don't expect these players to die here.
Like Alice's movement on the second spell is also kind of weird. Like
yeah,
it's kind of like the exception to her moving left with you or right with you.
Alice actually...
But generally speaking, moving back and forth in similar circles like you mentioned still gives you enough chance to hit her in between waves.
Here's the thing, Alice's movement is somewhat random. She can actually move fairly independently. She doesn't always move. She can sometimes just stay.
Tight dodge there.
For the
I was
final...
expecting some part of that to open up, but it just did the reverse.
Yeah. Especially, the thing is about... I want to talk about a little bit about the movement on the final. Sometimes she just doesn't move at all. She stays in the middle the whole time. And actually, it does make the fight a little bit easier, honestly. But her movement is actually fairly random in the sense that when she does it, she can either not move at all for long stretches, or she can basically move immediately towards you when she attacks. That's
kind of interesting. I've never actually like studied her movement closely enough to notice something like that, but
I don't know. I did notice it for plenty of practice. Hope we're gonna.
I'm sure like watching lots of replays too, you can maybe see something like that.
And also,
normally I just think of like, focusing on the bullets in front of me.
Also, the thing is, like, Alice only ever moves. Okay, the thing is, Alice only ever moves to the left during the spell card. She never moves right when she's in the middle. And once again to stage 4. Meanwhile, the other two are stuck in early game. I can't call it prison because, they're not jailed for long enough.
You call stage 3 early game still? I mean, based on the length of stage 4 and beyond.
It's kind of like mid-game, I guess.
You think just based on the numbers of the stages, but you also think like the length of stage 4 and 5,
I think it depends on the game itself. Like, if this were Hidden Star in 4 seasons, I would consider stage 3 early game. But if this were like double dealing character, no, stage 3 is not early game.
Oh yeah.
You see the difficulty spike in stage 3 versus elsewhere, basically.
But like Alice is like, I don't know, this stage doesn't feel that bad, but at the same time it's not free. So
I would still say compared to the stuff before, it's more of a jump up, especially the boss itself.
I think I would give it a mid game, I guess. But then again, I don't know. Sometimes I understand it because my brain likes to do it too. You like to separate the trial stages from like the full game. So in your head, it's just like the first 3 stages, and then you got everything else.
Again, just based on the numbering of the stages. Yukklsen doing the mid spell here, taking the risk with that potential bug we mentioned. Able to get through cleanly still. See how they handle the second half of this stage here. So again, it's a big deal trying to avoid power items when you can, while also streaming everything else that's going on. It's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
Helps during the end too to just go to the side and not shoot down a lot of those fairies in that final wave. Literally time for Chemkin. Let's see if they get some redemption here. Ooh, border iframes to start. Very cool.
They need to get revenge and spam because that's what their one miss was.
Yep, already made good progress from that now.
I really like how they misdirect Lily to the side of the screen for the kill so the power items don't get in the way of the dodging afterward.
They just go right back into the middle to shoot down everything else. For the record, the way that aim part of the Lily White attack works is that she teleports above you for each wave that she fires. You can control where she is that way. See, like at the start, they were like starting in the bottom left corner and just streaming back to the middle. Preparation for the random section. Who to keep track of here. things going on. Very clean Death Fairy there for Chemkin. They're going into the Prison River fight coming up.
Something I'm actually wondering is if you're dropping all of those items on the stages, the rank would it be maxed?
Honestly, with how much
I don't think the rank drops enough.
It
based
doesn't.
On that.
I don't think it drops.
Yeah, because I think this is still max rank here based on this.
And
yeah,
it's even
it drops like a lot less than some other things that would, and especially compared to what actually makes the rank climb, namely surviving without dying for so long.
anyways, like it's very aggressive top strategy for Yukklsen. That's a very good thing.
Give yourself as much room for error as you can, because in case something forces you to move down, at least you have the option to do so, rather than get crushed at the bottom.
Yeah. While Chemkin of Prism Rivers.
Once again, just seeing a lot of the Lyrica patterns here. You don't even have to like tap as much. Get rid of past using the arrowheads. It's like basically like once for color at the start. Obviously, it's different once you have to dodge the other bullets in the process. But more of an issue when you have these weaker shots like Marissa V. Sinky timed down this mid nod again. A lot of the times you wouldn't necessarily think to memorize these later waves, you just shoot down the rest of it before it gets that far.
No, I understand. I don't like the laser bug thing doesn't really happen that often, but
I feel lucky saying like I've never seen it at all in my time playing, or at least I haven't actually fallen victim to it, I should say.
I mean, if it's a threat, I mean, if it can happen, you don't want it to ruin the run, I guess.
And for a competition like this, that's the main issue, yeah.
Alright, so we've got stage 4, we've got Alice, then we've got Prism River Pinel.
For a clean Concerto Grosso coming up.
Yeah, Concerto Grosso.
It's a little weird what they're doing there. Have an odd choice of where to dodge. Ultimate.
It's fine, they're professional 2WC players. Don't question their routing.
Try and stick to where the shots are most vertical here, but now they're starting to get crisscrossing.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
I
Stage
want to
5.
stay like too far away from under the Prism Rivers.
And
if they can help
Yukklsen,
it.
no Death Lily this time. She got her 2 kills, and now I think she's gonna be satisfied.
She's got her quota for this match.
Yes, I see in the comments. Yes, the laser does turn on and off occasionally. I think it's a remnant from the PC98 games, where it did the same thing. My joke is like the Marissa had her options broken and couldn't fix them for the longest time. She outsourced that to Alice. In Touhou 9, she finally had lasers, proper lasers, but she can't fire them herself, only with her Yukklsen. And in Touhou 10, she does have lasers, although I think she got a little bit too far
overzealous with them.
Yes, the glitch is kind of funny. It's running out of battery. Yeah, we have a defective battery for Marissa. And thankfully, this is the final game where she has that defective battery. I'm guessing she's broke. That she can't afford a new battery at Renosuke's. But then she just steals everything anyway. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, she doesn't have to worry about buying anything.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That
That's
was-
actually fairly good for Senki. That's actually a good dodge.
Everything just like try to converge on them all at the same time. That one spot. Push to the corner though.
But they should be. Alice is dead now.
Just praying that Alice gets knocked out before all that stuff just pushes right into the corner. That was about to happen. Again, timing down the mid-non on stage 5. Coming up. Someone in chat asking if Rainbow A scores more than Marissa B. I mean, the base score for Marissa B is higher, but it's like different depreciation that happens in terms of the miscounts, where Marissa B loses points a lot faster than every other shot. It's a little different than what you normally expect, where everybody's score just gets halved every time you get on the miss.
That was
Override
amazing
frames from
iframes
Chemkin
right there.
there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's at play right now because if Senki gets a Rainbow A 1 miss, it actually beats out Marissa B 1 miss. Even though the base score itself for Marissa B is higher, because the decay rate is worse for Marissa B.
And since their base shots are so similar, that difference in the percentage drop just makes a big difference like as soon as one miss happens. Whereas with some of the other shots, you basically have to go like 2 or 3 miss for Marissa B to start scoring lower than some of the other shots. Not every game has these decay rates, to be fair. I'm not sure like which other ones even haven't been paying so much attention. I just know that PCB does in this case. We get to talk about Yomu's second spell before. It's actually kind of interesting the way you can control it. The way it works is that once a slowdown ends, the bullets are aimed, but then Yomu moves like directly above your position like a second after that. So you can like stay at one spot once the slowdown ends, and then immediately move somewhere to the side and control where Yomu goes that way.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out about that spell too is that you actually have a lot more options on where to go. You don't have to just stay on that bottom part of the screen. You can actually move a lot more up if you ever needed to.
I mean, you definitely don't want to stay at the very bottom in case there are any bullets that are like hugging that spot. You basically have to move up in order to get past some sections of bullets. But you also don't want to get too high up where the bullets that are swirling around before the slowdown happens will also clip you.
Alright, we got Yukklsen and LNN pace in stage 5. We got Chemkin, LNN pace at Yomu's final. And then we also got the Rainbow A, Senki, LNN entering. Oh, actually, we need to keep an eye on this because we're going to see Lunasa opener.
Yeah.
So that is something to talk about. Although,
Actually,
why is that? Dude, it's coinciding with spam. That's cursed.
yeah. I mean, we're gonna have a little bit
Potentially,
of time.
maybe Chemkin will pause the game. Or rather stall on the dialogue, I should say.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be correct. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
as I mentioned, different shot types fight different sisters at the very start. Reimu gets Lunasa.
And you can see that they are staying at the very top because Basically, the bullets fire a little bit from above you, and if you stay at the bottom, you immediately get bullets close to you. This gives you a more opportunity to move down to lessen the pain initially.
Yep, and they're also setting up a border as well, because I'm pretty sure, because most people do, they're going to iframe on the non-2. Well, actually, it doesn't seem like they're setting it up. Oh,
yeah, they needed to get the...
able to? I feel like the hard part's before it ends.
Yeah,
they needed to get them. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
they got
right.
it.
Reimu A does it
looked
differently
pretty clean
because
right
Reimu B speed kills it and you never fight the third wave, but as Reimu A, you need the border on wave 3. So no, they did it correctly. It's different between the two shots. Anyway, spam captured. Let's go.
Now,
already made progress.
All Chemkin needs to do is not fall to nerfs. They done it last credit. Now, they need to do it with an L and an N pace. And also we see the mid spell for Yukklsen for we're hopefully not seeing any shenanigans. Oh, that was a bit close.
It can look very dense at points, especially during the slowdown. That's why you want to use a slowdown to be able to read them in time.
Yeah, Chemkin's collecting themselves.
They're past what is supposed to be the hardest part of the game, but the game is not over yet.
And Yeiko is honestly
Not
at
by
this
any
level
means.
a pure mental check.
We may say like some games are easier to do this sort of thing than others, but it doesn't mean they're easy.
No, you know something?
This
I don't
is
know
bullet
if it was...
hell on Lunatic.
Yes,
Don't know
they
if it
did
was-
grab the one up while dodging other items. I'm guessing for safety, although to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's gonna be needed.
I don't know if it was brought up earlier, but Marissa B actually has a nice advantage on Yuko in that her laser
Yeah, we talked about
lets you
it.
pierce the fan. Okay, just
We talked
Yeah.
about it.
yeah,
It's both the Yuko and the fan behind her.
yeah,
Get extra damage.
really nice.
And we're gonna see a iframe abuse for Yukklsen. Nice.
May not even need it for that wave.
Still a bit of safety helps.
Yeah, for sure, but you obviously we would still take like the openings when you see them.
Oh, Senki got wrong to the wrong corner.
Push towards the right side instead of the left
Yeah.
side, which is what I normally see. Do they feel more comfortable dodging stuff from just like one direction, I guess?
No, I
If
think
if
they
everything's
just
coming
got
from the left.
they got shepherded there. They just got shepherded to that side of the screen. That's what happened.
It can happen, yeah.
Essentially, they got pushed and they had no real choice of going back to the left corner, so they just had to go to the right corner and just pray.
Eventually, everything just fires constantly. You can't exactly readjust your positioning anymore.
Okay, they're timing out non-2 for Yukklsen, which is actually kind of funny. Because they actually died last year, one miss-base to this.
Did it just not tap enough to get out of the aimed knives or something?
No, I think they just had a brain fart and just ran into the orbs. Honestly, that was just like a pure brain fart last year. Speaking of Oster Sword, we didn't mention it, but the slash doesn't collect the orbs that are at the bottom of the screen. The slash doesn't go far enough, so you
Yeah, it's
don't
only like shortly above the bottom.
Yeah.
You still have a bit of room to sit under them, although it still helps to like get out of the way if you really feel unsafe under it.
Yeah, sometimes the bottom of the screen gets really clustered and staying there is very difficult, so at that point it's advised to
To the
move
side
to the
instead of going up.
yeah, side and then possibly just down. Okay, the third spell actually increases in speed the longer it lasts, although there is a cap on it, as far as I know. I did play around with it with the time block shenanigans.
For Yukiko's third?
No, for Yomu's third. It actually.
I'm not sure if I've played that attack long enough to notice the difference in speed either.
It takes a long time to speed up to really big degree, although it is a bit noticeable if you have to restream. It is a bit noticeable. Anyways, Yukklsen's gonna be on spam.
Once again, finishing off at just under max power here, so they have more options in terms of when they can get that bullet cancel.
Two patterns,
As long as they don't
Sumizoma.
accidentally pick up a random small
Yeah.
power item too early.
Alright, spam.
Spam. Come on. We need to have a chance for double LNNN. Come on.
Got
Okay,
that there. Final wave here.
it's a bit early, but
It's fine, fortunately. Oh, Hell God Sword
Seemed like
Rainbow
the
A.
ending
Wait,
was
this
relatively
is
tame for
notable.
them. They were able to find a good spot there.
Oh God Sword Rainbow A.
come
This
on.
is going to be the rough part here.
They have to
iframes
dodge,
again
like,
during the slowdown, no
3
less.
waves. Well,
Okay.
yeah, 3 waves. Oh no.
Okay, good reading. Come on, it should be over. Come on.
Before the
Excellently.
top part gets in
Well
there.
played.
Nice.
And now we have RB. For a first LNNN of the tournament, hopefully.
They're so close.
Meanwhile, Yukklsen is also going for their LNNs. Come on. We only have so little. I don't
Still
know. I'm
30
very
seconds to
What was
uncomfortable.
that
go.
fish emoji again? Joel, was it?
Joel,
Get those in
Yeah,
the chat
Joel.
for sure. Send them your energy.
triple LNN sweep. Honestly, it would be insane. But then again, that would be the fitting result for PCB. We have 2 more waves for Chemkin. I think Yukklsen's watching.
Oh, that's nice.
One more
Final
wave.
one.
Alright, surely.
Yes!
There
Yes!
we go.
Good, good.
Yes!
The last wave is kind of spooky.
Alright.
The first LNN of the tournament.
GG's.
And getting max points in the process.
Alright, let's get a second one, I guess.
Now what Chemkin's
yeah,
going to do? Because what do you do after this?
I mean, yeah, you play Phantasm.
You pull a Mino and play Extra or Phantasm.
I mean, you could do what 411 did, was 75 FPS. Oh, that's a
Ooh,
very
border
aggr-
iframes on the final too. That was
Yeah, pushing right to the limit of border iframes.
In some ways, Yomu moving high on this spell can actually be more dangerous because bullets just don't get out of your way fast enough. You
Yeah.
also don't want to go. You also don't want to be going too high when you go through those clouds, because then you might accidentally run into the bullets that are spawning in the next wave.
Yeah,
It's
that's
also an
actually
Okay.
kind of a big deal. Because if Yomu fires very high, from very high up, and moves very low, you sort of have to dodge at the bottom because you can't really clear the wave at the top. The wave doesn't go low enough to do so without putting yourself at massive risk
Oh.
from just
Spawn
Spawn
A
camp.
spam.
Rainbow spam.
Okay,
Just
please
compare.
cap it with
We'll see
Rainbow
how
A.
much of a difference
We
it
need to
really is
showcase the honor and power of Rainbow A in this
The
game.
homing takes care of the opposite side, while the main shots take care of the other, and just see how much of a difference it makes.
See how much they're moving to the side compared to where your base shots are.
Yeah, look how less dense that is. It's crazy. Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
it was really
yeah.
just hunting them down there.
It's never free. Like even like the run earlier with Marissa B with the spam clear, it's never free. You can never make spam 100%
The very end is just
free.
like the very end is the densest part because that's when you have like the most enemies
Wait.
spawning at the same time. They just ended up getting sniped in this case, unfortunately.
We're hoping to actually see Yukklsen at some point. I thought they were watching Chemkin stream, but I guess something else now is at play.
Anyway, excellent play on Chemkin's part.
Okay, we have Yukklsen.
And now they're focusing on Yuko here. Finally, in
I
the
like
zone,
how
I'm
their
sure.
replays are just full of LNNs.
Keeping the
Okay.
record for themselves.
Chemkin, what are you going to do? Let's have a double LNN.
Maybe just play a different shot for fun. Not gonna score any more points just to get some variety on stream.
A Sakuya shot, maybe. Since we have to see Merlin. LNN to all? Maybe.
Yeah, imagine like a second loop of the entirety of PCB. What would that would look like?
I don't know. Is Chemkin the same level as Oscar? Because Oscar did to LNN to all on Vol K. Phantasm with Boar of Life and Death timeouts. Sure.
Pretty we can see one issue with lower power, because here on this non,
They'll have to
Here you go.
restream. I think. They have to restream.
some other shots are strong enough that you don't
Yeah.
have to, but Reimu A, he trying to.
They're
They push
yeah,
to its
okay, they're
limits
not
here.
necessary. I
You
don't think
don't
that.
you don't have to like you only have to move like every 2 waves of bubbles. It's eventually because they eventually start moving fast enough for that, but. Sen moving back to the center on this non here, now that it's safe enough to do so. Generally speaking, it is nice to have that fan to be able to damage Yuko from anywhere on the screen, even if it is slightly less than normal. Not counting the piercing aspect we talked about.
We're not gonna see Aladdin on TWC Mario
No,
Kart.
please,
Come
please,
on.
please, no.
Play Meister?
They
No
would
way.
be cut off, if nothing else.
No way. I mean, for Meister? I mean, come on. How obvious can you get?
Oh. Unfortunate second death on Sinky.
Oh, yeah, that's so unfortunate. On this spell?
No, it was the... or before. Non 3.
Oh, non 3.
Okay, Hirokawa shouldn't give any issue.
Focus grazing, come on.
It doesn't matter.
That's the rule. You're supposed to do unfocused grazing when you have the border.
Survival.
Yukklsen is making fun of all sport players everywhere right now. Come on.
One of the big issues for Sume Zome up here at the end is knowing like when to restream. I mentioned earlier like how each set of bullet patterns works, but being able to understand like when is actually a safe time to turn around is another big deal.
It's criminal how fast this spell dies with Mercy.
Yeah.
Alright, Resurrection Butterfly, let's go.
Double LNNN.
The year is 2026, and we have just double LNNs on.
So we
on the
finally have
date.
the answer of what the 20XX year is now.
Mhm.
I thought it was 2024 due to Oscar getting an LNN 2-all. 2 LNNs back to back of LOL K. I thought that was 20XX. Oh, I am.
Watch that laser. Actually, a lot closer than I think you would have liked.
Yeah, honestly, like, I'm getting kind of nervous watching their way of doing RB.
How much talk I hear about like people saying like, you know, the top strat is the way to go, and how much we've seen it in previous matches at TWC. Not surprised. This feels like the most I've seen like relatively bottom strat this in any TWC match.
Final wave.
Watch the bubble there.
We got it.
There you go.
Double
go.
LNNN. Don't save the replay. Don't do what happened last year in LOL K. Please.
Alright, play Phantasm.
Okay, Senki now is doing the top strat for Resurrection Butterfly. This is what we'll normally think to do because you stay up above where red butterflies actually start to spread out.
Ending blocker, ending blocker, ending
There's
blocker.
ostensibly less to keep track of, even if it's in a much tighter space.
Oh, nice. Okay, thought that was. I'll dance with the snow all over the endless
winter.
And we have a beautiful Letty.
It's power sliding through the snow, basically.
Or she's just simply kneeling.
Power sliding is more badass.
It doesn't really fit Letty. Okay. Is it an improvement for Senki? 2 miss? That's a good run.
Over Mercy before miss, absolutely.
Oh yes, it is.
Still a
GG.
very strong score. Unfortunately, they would still be locked into 3rd place unless they were to get a Mercy Ellen and N at this point.
And if
So
that's
they would have to switch to Mercy, yeah.
I mean, honestly, nothing else makes sense anymore.
Got time to reset and, you know, change the shot for that, get a run started. Though I don't know whether to be able to get past a lot of the really hard stuff before the timer runs out.
Okay, I see Pingwell in the chat asking them if Chemkin and Yukklsen are still going to play. I mean,
It's a legitimate question, because they've got the max points on both their ends.
I'm not sure. Maybe they don't
And
really know
with
what
so little
to do.
time left in the reset time.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Yukklsen's writing a response. I'll try to inform you if something's. I'm waiting for the response. Okay, Yukklsen's not gonna be playing anymore.
Perfectly fair. Press run started here.
Yep.
We might just see 2-player perspective before the reset time ends. That's
Chemkin decides to keep playing too. We could see just 1 player before reset time ends.
okay. Okay, Yukklsen's gonna be ending the stream. They just wrote that. Yeah, I think we can switch to the two-player perspective before the reset time. This is just so bizarre. I don't know about Chemkin, unfortunately. They did not write anything yet.
Got about 5 minutes to decide here.
Oh, I'm guessing Chemkin
Oh, so we
is...
are back to just single player.
Okay, we have... Hey, it's the final run! Just don't look at the reset time, just don't... It's glitch. It surely is. Final run.
Guess not as much to talk about in the early game here. The only thing that might be like remotely for that spell is some of those mini walls that go around. You don't want to make sure they don't like really block off where you're trying. Oh, okay. Not expecting that either.
I guess.
Just dashed into some other random bullet that was going on in the spell. I would normally think like you die more often to the lasers circling around Letty, in case you're trying to collect items.
Oh yeah, that can occasionally happen if you don't pay attention.
Yes, fortunately that was not the final run. Cat says. Now at this point, they definitely won't be able to reach Chen's final, or reset time ends.
Yeah.
Everyone have to do everything with only one shot to do.
Yes, in a way, it would be amazing if everyone got an L and an N, and
more final run magic to close that out.
Yeah. No, Ballastman. The Chemkin and Yukklsen are tied. We don't have. We only have tie breaks based on who got it first during the qualifiers. For the main match, we don't have that. It basically happened last year. In the last year's qualifiers.
It all with Marissa B, or was it some other combination of shots, I wonder?
Marissa B, Reimu B, and we had Marissa A, Marissa B, LNNs from 411. They got 2 of them. Yukklsen had Reimu B, LNN, and Astro got Sakuya A, LNN.
A lot more variety in the qualifiers there. Interesting. I guess one of the things to note about Letty's final here is that patterns normally static, but changes depending on where Letty moves, and generally speaking, you want to lure it to the right so that you don't have a laser going mostly down the middle.
I actually dodge from I actually lure her to the left. I do that from the left side.
You can still learn your way through it, but I just think it's maybe simpler to keep that one laser out of the middle if you can help it. It's kind of a minor thing in the relative scheme of things, though. Some misdirection on this mid-non here, just to get those green bullets out of the way. Very bottom center. Even though it is aimed like this. While I wouldn't necessarily call this like one of the harder attacks in the game, this one does feel a little bit more volatile than some others. You might get like a bunch of dense arrowheads coming in at angles. Very bottom center.
Honestly, it only gets bad if all three overlap. Also, final run, if Senki has to die, well, please don't. You're gonna ruin the all elementary.
Yeah, pray for Kimon Toko.
Gotta watch out for this blue wave. Start. Going to the side definitely gives you more time to react to everything. Border before the spell ends.
Oh yeah, that's...
They tried to clear a couple bullets with the iframes there. Did I just see that?
They did. I don't think how much that helped, but hey, if they can get away with it.
Especially because of how much the bullets swirl around. The ones that are like right above you might not necessarily be the ones that go towards you anymore.
They don't, actually. Basically, the ones from the side are the ones that really hit you.
Make sure they stay focused here so they don't get as much cherry.
Okay, Kimon. Okay, she's actually low. That's actually a bit of a problem because she went a bit higher. The worst thing she can do is she goes low and just stays there.
To the side a little bit there. You don't want to go near those denser clumps of cyan arrowheads if you can help it.
Yeah.
So what will trap you. As much as people like to hype up the faster bullets sniping you from behind them.
Nice.
Right, that's the first hard part down.
There's quite a lot more to go.
Non-spell has some fun movements in its own way. A lot of vertical dodging compared to horizontal.
Yeah, you basically kind of want to move in between the lanes. I guess that would be like the way I would describe it. Okay, it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Oh man, they got pushed against the wall too early. Also opting for the mid spell here. That laser. Potentially one could have spawned right there if it was just a little bit later.
Oh, you know what it is too. If you get too big of a cancel on the mid spell, you'll get the star item border, and then that can also get you accidental full power. So that might also be a reason why people time out the non-spell.
Yeah.
Or just time, or like stall it slightly as opposed to timing it up early.
I mean, yes, like because like you can't really do that section pacifist. It's not really a feasible thing. he expected to be done.
Side spot here.
Oh,
Oh no.
I mentioned it
non-one.
earlier. That opener is scary.
Okay,
Oh, well,
Whether it's like the crisscrossing bolts or even stuff like right behind them that you just haven't processed yet, that can be rough
GG,
sometimes.
so-
GG, yeah.
Still a very strong play from Senki. Yeah, that's the PCB survival match.
Beautiful artwork.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Exquisite, yes. Must be Sumi-Some there, based on the pattern.
Anyways, the results are in. Tying for first place are both Chemkin and Yukklsen with the Marissa B, Alan and Nance, and maximum 14 points. Senki came in second with the Rainbow A 2 miss with 4.32 points. Honestly, still a very good run. Unfortunately, how the spam went, and also non-3. But again, this is like a very good run.
Still got really close though, and they did a lot of the other hard patterns with what is normally like a very weak shot type.
Hopefully we're gonna have Senki for an interview, although that's not, that's, we're gonna have to wait on that. But yeah, like, we basically covered everything that we needed to cover. There's not that much to summarize. We saw 2 Ellen and Ents. We don't have to sacrifice anyone to the RNG gods. We don't have to sacrifice anyone. Everything will be just fine. We've got our Ellen and Ents. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of
Now
struggling.
we've really gotten TWC 2026 started with this Ellen and End.
Oh yeah. Just while we're waiting for the next slides to show, I mean, honestly, there's not really that much to be talked about, unless either of you have something to
Senki
say.
is mentioning in chat about showcasing border iframes at various points. As much on RB. I would imagine like there's a particular part you'd be able to time it on, because normally you get like certain borders based on other collectibles from like before the spell and even during it sometimes.
it might be talking about that one score strat, or you know the score strat where like you get the border and then you the iframe and you move up into Yukko and then you point of collect and then you get like borders and stuff.
So it's like an instant point of collection on a lot of items at once or something.
It's hard to.
I'm not as
it's kind of like
familiar
a.
with PCB
It's kind of
scoring,
like
some others might be.
but it can be used, I guess, in survival. It's a little risky though, I guess, compared to just dodging it.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna have Senki for an interview. So yeah, we're just waiting for the next slide to show up.
Must
Whenever
manifest it.
when the
Channel
world,
of thoughts.
yeah, when the world feed is. Oh, we have Senki in the waiting room. I can put him in. Is it okay with you if I put him in? Okay. Hello,
Welcome,
Senki. Congratulations on the run.
Still very strong play there. Always nice to see a good Rainbow Ace score.
How was it during play? Like, how nervous were you? Yeah, you've talked about how you wanted to showcase a lot of border iframe strategies. Oh, wait, Oh, Senki was silent the entire time. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Apologies.
Though we could talk about what's happening next time, which is Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom extra scoring, Oscar versus Edaton.
Speaking of super players,
Return of Oscar.
the return of the cat. The cat's avatar. We're just figuring out things for Senki right now. Unfortunately, they're muted right now. So that's what we are waiting for. Sorry for the... We're apologizing. Oh, that was her during the stream!
Wait, what happened?
Oh, technical issue World Cup. I didn't think that would be caught on during the stream. What was going on? That was an interesting moment, if there was one. Sorry, we're just working things out, like, as we are a professionally hosted event, I swear. We don't know what in the world was that Phantom Bugo, and I think that knowledge best be locked away somewhere to be forgotten. I think we're better off not knowing. Think of it as like a... Yeah, the power of double LNN broke the stream. Yeah, right at the very end. The stream is now broken.
I guess in the meantime, would this be the only other match this weekend? Legacy of Lunatic?
Yeah, it's the only one on Sunday. And
This will be,
that,
I don't know if we have any other closing slides after this.
we're gonna have it, but hopefully we get Senki interview, unless we take too long in that case, unfortunately. Just for the people, the Drifrano who's running the English stream is doing their best to not talk shit on them, please. That would be bad. Unless you're English. They're the only ones who can.
Can you hear me right now? I don't know what happened. I just click the block
Yeah,
microphone
okay,
button.
we finally have Senki. Okay,
Thank you.
let's get back. We just said they said that they felt very nervous. That's why the first few runs were like you had some unfortunate misses. Anyways, we were discussing about how you wanted to showcase Rainbow A border iframe tricks, like various ones.
Yeah, I really want to show a lot of them, but honestly, I did not expect to all my levels to do Marisa B alien. I did not expect that, but it happened, so can be helped.
Oh yeah.
They are really strong today. Yeah.
Consequence of, players not being able to like directly affect each other's play in that sense. You're just playing your own game.
Yeah. I just want to have fun today.
Unless we have some
still a
sort
very
of...
good showing.
Yeah, it is a very good showing. Like 2 miss is nothing to sneeze at, even like on a game on the easier side as PCB is. Still, that's still a very good run. Unfortunately, you just run across into 2 supercomputers just vaguely under the disguise of human beings.
Yeah.
I
really did not expect them to do that. Oh.
Anyways, like, do you have any more questions to Senki, Mino, or Trace?
Yes, no, that's the best of picking up things on the spot myself.
I was just gonna say it's really cool that you played Rainbow A, showcased her.
Thank you.
Just have some variety, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it was a Marisa B party the entire way through.
Marisa B with power cassette so stressful, so it's not that fun. I really don't want to play them. But yeah. But Chemkin want to see everyone in the match playing Marisa B, so I did once and go play something that I like.
At some point, you just want to make your shot with that shot, no pun intended.
Yeah.
You can get something that matches whatever.
Anyways, like, do we have any more questions, or we can move on to the end? Because like we've covered a lot.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad to wrap things up.
Yeah, I think we can begin to wrap things up, honestly. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone who stayed here. If you're interested in helping us out, the English crew sign-ups will stay open throughout the event. We do have some more slots open for some tasks, so you will be able to sign up. It'd be very appreciated. Type time exclamation point sign up in chat, or scan the QR code to get the link to the form. Or, as you can see, the link and the QR code on the slide.
Trust us, it's legit.
And also, coming today actually is also Touhou Replay Showcase. We're gonna be showing it in about 6 hours, just over 6 hours, on 9 p.m. Central European Summertime. I think Astari will be there. I think. Although then again, Astari sometimes is a prima donna that doesn't show up. She's that kind of person. Also, for any announcements from the Touhou World Cup, check the Blue Sky account, also seen in the slide. I mean, and if with that, I think it's time for us to sign off. Any final words?
Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, Senki, congratulations on the placement.
Yeah,
Yes,
what he said.
Anyways, that was it from us. We're going to be hopefully seeing you at TRS later today. And tomorrow, we're gonna be having a really high-level scoring match between Oscar and Iditian on Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. Stay tuned then. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.
See you later.